Jeremy Corbyn.
Thank you very much, Madam Deputy Speaker, and I do commend the member for Swansea in getting this debate. It's been long necessary and long overdue, and well done him for pressing to get it, and all the campaigning groups that have done so much about this. I want to thank War on Want, I want to thank Global Justice, I want to thank the TUC, and to the irritation of members opposite, I want to thank 38 Degrees. There is no harm in the public emailing us. There's no harm in members of the public getting together and asking MPs what they think, what they're doing, and above all, what they intend to do about a particular issue. That is what an interactive democracy is about, and that is what modern technology gives us the opportunity to do. We shouldn't be afraid of it, we should welcome it, even if it does mean replying to 300 or 400 emails at the same time. It's not complicated, and I'm sure members will actually get used to the idea that there's going to be a lot more interaction in the future. The government sent out, maybe only to Conservative members, I don't know, a very unhelpful document called Myths and Facts Surrounding TTIP, and it actually raises far more questions than it answers. But the one of them, where they ask a rhetorical question, TTIP is being agreed by a European institution which was not democratically elected. And their reply is, the UK Parliament will have an opportunity to scrutinise the final agreement through debates in both houses, but goes on to say the eventual deal will be agreed by both the EU Council and the European Parliament, which of course is not the same as a national parliament, and then praise in aid the fact that the TTIP is the subject of a House of Lords inquiry and an all-party parliamentary group. That is hardly a full-hearted endorsement of democratic scrutiny of something that is so very crucial to the future of this country and to so many people in their work and their ordinary lives. And you have to ask yourself, what is the objective of TTIP? The objective is to increase trade between Europe and North America. That trade is not without a cost. That trade actually benefits, yes, the companies that undertake that trade, and if it meant more jobs, then obviously maybe it does benefit more jobs. But if one starts to look at other trade agreements which claimed the same kind of great advantage in advance, such as the North American Free Trade Agreement between Canada, the USA and Mexico, severally, companies and workers in Canada, the USA and Mexico were all told that free trade would increase trade, free trade would increase opportunities, free trade would help to eliminate poverty. Who have been the losers? Those that have been deindustrialised in what is now unfortunately known as the Rust Belt in the USA, those that have seen their working conditions damaged in Canada, those companies in Mexico that have been set up on the borders in a virtual tax haven zone that are paid disgracefully low wages with appalling working conditions. Has it actually benefited any of the people that it was claimed it would benefit, or has it in fact enriched those that were already doing very nicely? Thank you very much. And I think there are some serious questions to be answered there. There are 7 areas of concern: food, climate change, small businesses, policy making, medicines, jobs and public services, all of which would be affected by TTIP, all of which would be where governments would become empowered, or rather private businesses would become empowered to prosecute governments if they took decisions that were seen to be damaging to private interests. And if we think this is a cri de coeur, yes it is. It's a cri de coeur for democracy. It's a cri de coeur for the right of people to elect a government that can decide what goes on in its country. But the experience of the power of global corporations to attack the government of South Africa when it was trying to buy generic antiretroviral drugs, the government of Ecuador trying to protect its environment, the government of Argentina where the vulture funds bought up debts and are now penalising the people of Argentina. There are many, many other places where the same thing is happening. I conclude with this question: why the secrecy surrounding these negotiations? Is it because there's an ante-room in both sides of the Atlantic stuffed full of very effective corporate lobbyists who are doing the best to develop their own interests? Shouldn't we be instead demanding a free trade agreement that narrows the gap between the rich and the poor, that protects the advance of public services like the National Health Service, that fundamentally protects food protection and ensures that the best standards become the universal standards, not the race to the bottom of the worst standards becoming the norm on both sides of the Atlantic. I hope the House rejects this TTIP as proposed.